This is the first video in a series of videos I'm making on the samr model, and I'm going to use a specific tool. This time I'm going to use Teachermade. Now the samr model is a progression of changing over from analog work to using technology to help you redefine your instruction. And samr stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. And it's basically the progression you would take from really starting out at square one with using technology in your instruction and how you can make things digital, all the way to completely redefining what's possible with learning through the use of technology. Now, in these first couple of videos, I'm going to focus more on the S for substitution to just show you how that start happens, how you start with taking things that you would do normally with your students in class and just find a substitution for that with the use of technology. But as we go through this series, I'll show you how you can utilize some amazing tools, specifically Teachermade for this series, to really take your instruction and learning from that substitution phase all the way to completely redefining what you're able to do with your students and the way that you're able to teach them through the use of technology. So in this first video, let's just talk about substitution. This is a worksheet that I would give to my students in class. It's about finding the main idea, and the students would read through this. I would have them highlight using a highlighter in class where the main idea is in this paragraph. Then I would have them write that down here for main idea. And then they're going to write a concluding sentence for the paragraph. So this is just something that I would have them do pencil and paper in my class. Now, I want them to be able to do that in a digital realm, especially with all of us now having virtual students, whether your school has gone all virtual or you're in a hybrid model. It's more important now than ever that we are able to substitute some of these activities into the digital realm. And Teachermade is a tool that allows us to do that really easily. Now, in a lot of these videos, I'm going to talk about the how and I'm going to talk about the why. Why is it important to do this in a certain way? And then, of course, how do we do that? The how is easy. The why is really not only finding something that we can substitute, but make sure that it's an effective substitute for what we're wanting to do. So with Teachermade, I was able to upload this worksheet into Teachermade, and then I can use their tools to really transform what I'm doing. So here is my document in Teachermade, and I want my students to first be able to highlight. Well, Teachermade already allows that through its own tools. When students see this, they will be able to have a highlighting tool that will allow them to go in and highlight that sentence. So it may take some front loading on my end to teach my students how to use that highlighter tool. But once they know how to use that highlighter tool, they can simply come in and highlight whatever they need. Just like a real highlighter. All right. The next part is I want my students to be able to write on this worksheet as they would in class, but I have to change that. I have to substitute a digital version of that. So I'm going to go up here to Open Answer. And I am simply going to put my text box over my normal lines for drawing. And that's it. Now my students can write in here just as they would in class. I'm going to do the same thing for my concluding sentence. And I'm done. Just like that, I've substituted a digital version of my worksheet for my students using Teachermade. Now, in my next substitution video, I'll talk more about substitution and more about how you can start moving from that substitution to the modification, adding some even more powerful tools using Teachermade.